guys, good day. So right now we are at Honda Big Wing Setapa. Right here in front of me is the latest Honda CBR 250 RR. It's powered by a 250cc engine. The output has been increased to 40 horsepower this time. Comes with LED lights, daytime running lights, upside down forks, 310mm disc, although it's a single, it's a 250, so it's alright. And comes with a 2-piston Nissin caliper up front. This is a good looking bike, has sharp edges, it looks fast, and looking at it makes me excited. I'm gonna hop a leg over it and see what it's like to ride. Turn it on, let's start her up. You can see here it has this display, revs up to 14,000 RPMs, which is quite mental. Has 3 power modes: Sport, Sport Plus, and Comfort. Let's start with Sport. It is the default power mode. Alright, instrumentation looks very neat. Font is big enough for me to read, and in direct sunlight right now it's bright enough for me to read it as well. Okay, off the bat this bike feels very light and I can just move it around very easily. However, the seating position, this bike has a seat height of 780mm, which is pretty low for a sports bike, but it is just a 250. With my height of 173 centimeters and an inseam of 29 inch, I can flat foot very easily on this bike with a bit of a knee bend as well, as you can see here. Okay, and the foot pegs, it is a sports bike, it's not too high. My legs are in a folded position, and it's a bit less relaxed compared to my Honda CB650R, whereas the handlebars are clip-ons, as you can see here, which puts me in a bit of a lean position and requires me to bend down a bit, giving it an aggressive stance. I'd like to give a shout out to my buddy Alex for giving me this opportunity to test this bike. If you're in Malaysia, if you have any questions about Honda motorcycles, if you're interested in buying one, hit him up. This is his contact details and this is what he looks like. Alright, let's put her into first and see what it's like to ride. The clutch is actually very light. It's so good. Just to let you know, this is the first time I'm ever riding a 250cc motorbike. I started riding on scooters and as well as on a 500 Honda. Wow, not bad. Alright, I don't know what to, I expected less by riding a 250, but this is definitely not bad at all. That's a cool bike, Brat Cafe Racer kind of style. Well, okay, everybody's a bit aggressive. I think I'm in the wrong gear. Where is the indicator? Being typical Honda, the indicator and the horn are at the wrong place, the other way around, which requires getting used to. Alright, shift down. Let's make a U-turn here. Alright, it is a very low bike, but it's very light, very easy to maneuver, and you're in a hunched down position, which is quite aggressive for town riding, I believe. Well, I had a Suzuki GSX-R 600, which was a bit of a pain to ride in town, and I imagine that this will be as well. The tank is able to fit 14.5 liters of fuel, which is a decent size. It's not too slim that it feels like a small bike. It feels decent where you can hug it and hold on to it as well. Okay, talk about the seating position. I am hunched down a bit. I'll definitely feel the weight of my body on my wrist. Alright, let's make a U-turn. It's like making a U-turn, a super bike. Turning circle was quite decent, so nothing to complain about there. Let's hit a few bumps to see how it deals with bumps and how comfortable it is. Wow, that is actually pretty comfortable. For a sports bike, I am impressed. especially at 250. I'm very impressed. Let's hit this one. Yeah, I'm impressed by this bike. Oh, damping is pretty decent. Brake feel is not bad. Alright, let's turn in. Let's go this way. But I'm constantly in the wrong gear, and to ride this bike means that in order for you to extract the power, you have to ride it in a low gear and you have to rev it up a bit. Because right now, let's say I'm in third, uphill from 4,000 RPM, I'm not getting anything. Haha, not bad. Let's talk a bit about the engine. This bike is powered by a 250cc liquid cooled parallel twin, produces 40 horsepower at 13,000 RPMs and 25 Newton meters of torque at 11,000 RPMs. It's mated to a 6-speed gearbox, whereas as you probably know, this bike has an up and down quick shifter and an auto blipper, which is very cool for a 250. I'm in the wrong gear again. Go into second. It's very nimble, very light, very easy to maneuver around, but definitely in a very aggressive stance. Okay, let's do a little pull over here. Woo, that quick shifter, yo. I definitely have to ring the hell out of this bike to get the power. But that quick shifter is so cool. I wouldn't say this bike is slow. I'm in sports mode right now, which is the middle. Probably should try Sport Plus, which is a bit more powerful. It's very comfortable for a sports bike. The damping is just as well as my CB650R. Suspension wise, the front comes with upside down telescopic forks, which looks very good in gold. They are Showas and they're non-adjustable. The back comes with a monoshock with preload adjustable only. So generally the suspension so far feels very plush for a sports bike, definitely more comfortable than my GSXR 600. Makes for a very cool bike. Initially I was gonna assume that this bike will not be suitable for town riding. Other than the hunched up position, it's quite comfortable. I can see why some people would want to sacrifice a bit of rider comfort and daily ride this bike. Wow, flipper. Has a shift indicator. Okay, let's give her a bit of fuel. Gets into neutral very easily, which is an important thing to note. Let's fill her up a bit with fuel. Okay guys, so here we are with this bike. Stopped over right after filling her up at Petronas. As you can see here, this bike has very sharp features and it looks stunning. As a 250, this gets my heart racing. Definitely would appeal to me if this was gonna be my first bike. The sharp rear, that little winglet at the bottom, those fins, wow, that will definitely appeal to most 16-year-olds. Oh man, I can see why Honda has finally brought this out after they realized that they had the most boring 250 in the market when they brought out that single cylinder Cyclops-like bike, which they tried to redeem it by giving it that dual headlamp to mimic the design of the bigger brother. This definitely looks the part of a sports bike, with the red frame and those fins over there and the double exhaust. Definitely looks exciting, but that tail has to go. If it was anyone's bike, I'm guessing that will be the first thing to go. They've integrated the passenger grab handles very flush into the design over here, which is very cool. As you can see there, the instrumentation, there's a speedometer in kmh, the RPM, red lines at 14,000. So because it's throttled by wire, Honda is able to give it power modes, where it has 3 power modes being Comfort, which is the least, Sport, the middle, and the highest, Sport Plus. Alright, there's a gear indicator as well, and there's a clock and fuel gauge at the side, and as well as temperature indicator. It has a shift LED shift indicator as well, which is pretty cool for a bike in this class. Wow, sounds good. Definitely sounds like a mini super sport. One thing I have to say I don't like about this bike is the indicator. I think it's awkwardly placed on the side over there. That 250 screams. Right now, riding it slowly, this bike feels quite plush, comfortable, although it is I'm in a very tucked up position. The body position is a bit aggressive. It definitely puts me in a position that is all about attacking corners. I keep forgetting that I have a quick shifter on this bike, something I'm not used to because none of my bikes has quick shifters, and it works very well. Very smooth transition between the gears. This is very cool. Maybe I'll consider putting in a quick shifter for my 650 as well. Brakes are quite strong for a single disc 2-pot. But something I have to remind myself that this is only a 250, so it's not the fastest thing in the world. I'm not going to outrun a lot of cars like I usually do on my own bikes. So I just have to keep that in mind when I get out of corners and stuff, you know, be a little bit, not be too overconfident that I'm gonna outpace the cars on the main road. Yeah, the instrumentation looks very clear. You can see everything, even though this is in bright sunlight. Everything's very clearly lit, and it's very well placed. The fonts are decent sized. Switch gears feel like something that comes out of Japan. Doesn't feel like it's the same breed as the one that's on my 650. It feels like it shares the same materials and feel like the switch gears that comes with the CB1000R, which is a premium bike from Japan. Definitely you get a lot of a lot of quality on this bike. And this triple clamp, I love it. This holes that makes you just excited about riding this thing, and definitely makes you feel that you're not riding something cheap. And those blue Showa fork caps look so cool. Oh man, with the gold forks, definitely gets you excited and makes you feel like you're riding something sporty. Ooh, we have a tunnel here. What do we do when we have a tunnel? Downshift, downshift. Make her scream. Definitely sounds good at 13,000 RPMs. Who says parallel twins are boring? Not a lot of power, but a lot of screams and a lot of excitement. That's the most important bit. Did I say this bike is comfortable? It's definitely comfortable. Especially for a 250. I expected to be something cheap, but at the price of 26,000 ringgit, it is a huge premium against Yamaha's offering of the R25. I believe that R25 at 20,000 ringgit versus this bike at 26,000 ringgit. This bike comes with a lot of toys, like I would say big boys toys, because it has up and down quick shifter, it has shift indicators, has bigger brakes, has power modes, LED lighting, a really cool design, and revs to 14,000, which is crazy for a 250 parallel twin. You expect a 4-cylinder to rev this much, but not a parallel twin. So this is definitely something cool. You're buying a racer boy bike. If I was to get my first bike and I have to think about my budget as well as the cool factor, I'll definitely get one of these, as it is quite cool. Alright, so this is a bit of a, we're in a gridlock, heavy traffic, everybody's fighting to get home. Let's see how this bike does in this situation with this hunched down stance and tight body position. It's going to be a bit tough to maneuver around heavy traffic, but yeah, we'll see how she does. The clutch is very light. You can actually just pull it down with one finger, and you know, it feels very positive, very easy to use as well. Although it's very light, but you're in a very compromised position to be comfortable, and maneuverability is definitely restricted when you're hunched down like this. So who is this bike appeal for? Well, if I was 24 years old again, which was when I got my first motorcycle, the CBR 500R, I would definitely have this on top of my list to get, because this CBR 250RR has the edge in terms of coolness. This bike, being a high-strung 250, is definitely a lot cooler than a slightly detuned 500. Definitely cooler than the other bikes in the 250 category, with a quick shifter, LED lights, sharp lines. Well, it has winglets. That'll definitely be a big selling point to me. Uninterrupted power delivery, that is so cool. I love the quick shifter. I've been riding this bike for a bit now, and there is a little bit of engine heat. Not excruciatingly painful, but but you know, it's noticeable. Man, I love this bike. This would be a very fun bike to have. Well guys, I hope you like my review of this awesome Honda CBR 250RR. It's a great little bike, offers a lot of toys for a little 250. It's the best in its class by far. Definitely worth the price of 26,000 ringgit compared to the other competitors of the Yamaha R25, Kawasaki Ninja 250 or the KTM Duke 250. If you have any questions or comments, please write them in the comment section below. Please give a thumbs up to this video. Do subscribe to my channel. Other than that, do remember to stay safe, ride safe, and have a great day. Bye bye.